Environmental Clean Water Restoration Initiative. This is the Flushing River in LaGuardia, New York. With the growth of industry, many ecosystems and bodies of water like this one have become casualties to contamination. Particularly in largely populated areas, there is a higher than average risk of contamination that threatens the natural ecosystems, which in turn endangers us all. Due to these reasons, BioVan Korea was founded 14 years ago to study and provide practical and real solutions to this contamination crisis that threatens our creeks, rivers, ponds, and oceans. BioVan Korea is a company that treats contaminated sedimentary soils in rivers and reservoirs using natural microorganisms. By restoring the sludge to a natural and clean state, the clean soil in turn purifies odors and prevents green algae development. This brings the water back to a clear state. BioVan Korea began its research of microbial agents to reduce nitrogen and phosphorus levels in water systems in 1999. Using this method, we have been able to reduce nitrogen levels in contaminated water by up to 70%. In turn, we have implemented many projects to improve the quality of water through these purification methods for small and large businesses every year. With our breakthrough in scientific research of the microbial agent utilized in these projects, we have been able to patent these processes for water purification. Many scholars and scientists have done extensive research to develop ways to restore our polluted planet. However, we have seen very little in terms of practical output in this arena. We at BioVan Korea are spearheading the discovery and development of natural solutions to this dire global crisis. Research Facility. This is BioVan Korea's main facility, where we analyze contamination levels of water and soil pollution samples. In our research, we strive for high quality in water purification while maintaining a practical and economic solution. This facility is also run and staffed by both university students and professional workers. The level of study in this facility is comparable to high-end research universities such as MIT. Contaminated Water Filtration System. The movement of the contaminated water from the primary sources, household and factory, mainly come from the water filter system on the left. The right system includes the offshoot contaminant from livestock and fertilizer and other non-point sources. BioVan Product Introduction. This image details the components of our company's product. Our microbe introduces these products into the anoxic layer of the contaminated river sediments, which serve to break down the nitrogen and phosphorus levels as well as fat, carbohydrates, proteins, hydrocarbons, and other organic compounds. The filtration process of the Subion microbe. When the Subion microbes are introduced into the water, the microbes release enzymes which in turn latch onto the organic material and clean the soil layer by layer. The enzymes then differentiate between the molecular structures of the organic material, leaving the clean soil and dissolving any foreign contaminant. Sludge carbonization. This image is a picture of the carbonization of the Dangjong River during our purification process. General use. We have confidence that when you use our Subion microbe, you will see immediate and direct results. To this point, we have been running to contaminated ponds and rivers to heal and repair damage that has already been done. However, we want to be proactive to prevent contamination before it begins, because we believe that the dream of living in an environmentally clean and restored Earth is imminent and forthcoming. The bioreactor and biological wave. This image marks the purification process of the contaminated soil over time after the introduction of the Subion microbe. The water is purified through a repeated cycle of 500 hours that reduce the levels of nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, and carbon. This cycle is repeated until the contamination is completely dissolved. Work in progress and treatment efficiency agenda. This chart shows the progress of dissolving the contaminant in the soil over time. Comparison with other products. There is a clear difference between a chemical and biological method in water purification. This chart is a comparison between the two. These other conventional methods that use a chemical treatment are only effective for a short time. The underlying issue of contamination is not addressed, but merely suppressed. There can be other harmful environmental side effects as well. The contaminated soil is also not dealt with. The balance of the ecosystem is also greatly upset by these methods. And the treatment is not effective on moving water or larger bodies of water such as oceans or rivers. Economically, there is no need to address this method as the cost is astronomical due to the prolonged upkeep required for constant purification. On the other hand, the BioVan Korea BROST system has the environment and long term in mind. It maintains the balance of the ecosystem. There are no harmful environmental side effects. It is also a self-sustained cycle and process for purification. So for these reasons, our BioVan Korea BROST system is the best economic choice for water purification. The comparison of effectiveness between the chemical and biological method. This graph shows the comparison between the 2008 chemical system and the 2009 biological system developed for water purification. This graph examines the changes in the levels of the elements listed during a 6-month period. As depicted, there is a 50% change in the level of these elements. Furthermore, the intensity of the odor has faded to the original levels and there has been a visible recovery in the environment of the river. And as we can see, the chemical method is not only outdated but destructive to the environment, while our newer biological method maintains and even recovers the natural state of the ecosystem. Example number 1. Buyo Gungnam Pond. The Buyo Pond was the initial testing ground for a new biological method. During this test, we confirmed our research and saw visible results in the reduction of algae and odor. The success of this project was reported in all 16 newspapers in Korea on July 2014. Buyo Gungnam Pond. Purification Visual Timeline. Before the BioVan treatment, this pond was victim to an overgrowth of algae and a pungent odor. After the first week of treatment, as is depicted in this visual timeline, there was a clear improvement and a reduction in algae and odor. And within 2 weeks, the water became completely clear. Buyo Gungnam Pond. The treatment visual timeline. Using a waterproof camera, we tracked the change in the clarity of the water during a 3-week process. As time progressed, we were able to see distinct detail from a 30-centimeter distance. Buyo Gungnam Pond continued. This graph depicts the nitrogen levels in the water during our treatment process. During a 2-month period, we see a reduction from a TN level of 2.67 milligrams to a 0.86 milligrams. This is a 67.79% decrease in total nitrogen levels. Buyo Gungnam Pond continued. This graph depicts the change in phosphorus levels within a 2-month period. There is a huge decrease in TP from 0.46 milligrams to a 0.08 milligrams. This shows a total of 82.61% reduction in the total phosphorus level. Buyo Gungnam Pond continued. We see a total COD reduction of 49.95% in the 2-month treatment period. Buyo Gungnam Pond continued. There has been a 73.77% increase in DO levels during the 2-month treatment period. Example number 2. Incheon City Shimgok River. After the 2 months of treatment, we see a balance in the ecosystem of the Shimgok River in algae removal and odor reduction. Shimgok River Water Improvement Chart. This graph shows a similar improvement to the Gungnam Pond example. There is a 58.32% decrease in TN levels. Through this success, our client, the Hyundai Construction Company, began to endorse our product because of the staggering results. Example number 3. The Guisan Baekma Reservoir. After 2 weeks of treatment, all signs of algae in the reservoir was completely eradicated. Huisan Pigma Reservoir Algae Test. These photos show the before and after for various time periods after treatment. After 18 days, there is no trace of the algae. Business plan and developing a budget. In order to find the best business practice, we examine all the details in implementing the process and of the land surrounding the water. In turn, we are able to calculate and discern an affordable and economic solution for all of our clients. BioVan USA. We want to thank you for joining us in this presentation of BioVan. If there are any questions, we would be happy to address them at this time. In sharing this vision with you, we feel that we are one step closer to providing a practical solution to a clean water initiative for our planet. In our joint efforts, we believe that we can achieve and see this dream realized. Thank you, and God bless you.